Okay, I'm going to assemble up these heads here. So I already gave these initial cleaning. So now we got to figure out the valves, the stall height, the springs, all that stuff, and see what we come up with here for clearances. Make sure everything fits together correctly. So obviously we've got the exhaust valve and intake valves we got to put in. They go like that. So we're going to measure our installed height so we know where our coil bind and stuff is for these springs. So these look like Manley springs. I guess these have already been trimmed down here for extra clearance. So these need to be checked for coil bind so we get some idea what kind of lengths we're looking at for all of this stuff in here. So there's what it looks like with the valves in there. So you see it all flows up really good. Lots and lots of power. Okay, so what I got to do right now is I need to go check all of these springs to see what our coil bind dimensions are. This one appears to not want to come out, so we'll leave it. Okay. Basically, we're going to collapse the spring all the way down and then measure between the collars and get a dimension. That's what we need information for. I already looked up the valve lift what the cams are, so I know what they are at. Let's see, more light. There we go. Makes you see for once. Okay. Clean surface works good. Okay, let's drop it. That's always a good sign. So we got a device here we're going to use. Wipe the junk off. Get it where you can measure it. So it's very, very hard to measure a spring when you're in a round part of the spring. So you want to be on kind of a flat part where you can read it better. Measure it better. So you just collapse it all the way down like this. When it's solid, it's all the way down. You just measure it, see what you got. Looks like we're about 820 on our dimension. So if you just measure it across like this here, you can see it's around 820 overall length. About right there. So that'd be that number right down in that area. So that's what you're looking for. It's right on the edge of the collar. So it's between this collar and this collar here is what you're measuring. So that one's 820. You can see I coil bond on the inner spring, not the outer. Because the outer spring still had a gap in it. Quite a bit of gap. There's a lot of gap. There's probably hundredths out on that other spring. So if you recut machine the collar a little differently, you can pick up a lot of clearances if you need it. Okay, this one here is more around 815-ish. So this one's slightly better than that one, if we need it. Sometimes you need an extra thou or two. This one's probably 20 again. So it might be 825. So 820 is pretty close. So pick them up so you know how they go. You go back over to the workbench. And lay them out so you know what they are. So you lay them out just like you had them over there. So 815, 20, 20, and 25. There you go. As long as you know what everything is, you're good to go. So a couple checking springs here. Okay, I'm going to measure our installed height. So I lay all my valves out, front to rear, exhaust, intake, exhaust, because that's how they go on the bike. Makes it really easy to figure out. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 being on the front, 1 being on the back. That's how they're numbered on Harleys. So as long as you lay everything out like it goes on a bike, you don't get confused. Okay, so we put our lower collar on it, put a spring in there, put a upper collar. And we get the keepers. Okay. These keepers look like they're going to be different than the stock. These are custom keepers, they're extra big. So 5/16 keepers will be thinner from here to here than the 1132. So grab the 1132 valve. Put the keeper on there. If the keeper fits in there, that's the correct keeper for 1132. If it does not fit, like this one is not fitting, then this would be for a 5/16. 3 in a row are too big. There's one that fits. In this case, too small. Boom, those all fit. So these are exhaust keepers. Here's an intake valve. Hey, the keeper fits the intake. Imagine that. So these are intake keepers. Okay, so as long as you know how you lay those out, you can grab them real quick. Okay, we are on the exhaust. That's the darker ones. Checking the fit of the keeper. See, you got a little bit of rock in there. That's not good, but it's acceptable. If it's more than that, it would not be acceptable. If your locks are really loose, then your valve can drop. See how that one's a little bit looser? It's getting to be a little more than I like. It'll work, but I don't like it. Stock Harley keepers. See if they fit any better. Not really. Yeah, they bounce around. kind of suck. Try a couple genuine collars, see how they feel. They move around just a little bit too, but not too bad. Try these ones again. Rocking, moving a lot around. Okay, let's check the depth of how high it is. It's sunk pretty good. Makes it a high lift one. This one's definitely a lot tighter. This one's more flush across the surface. Maybe that dimension there, so you're about 30 thou below the surface maybe. That one there, if you look in there, you're more like about 70 or 80 thou below the surface. So that's probably like a plus 50. That's using a stock keeper in there. If we use their keeper, it's got a little more rock to it, which I definitely don't like. And it's flush. So it's actually worse than the stock collar and keeper arrangement. You have negative clearance. I'm not a big fan of that deal. Try this collar. Let's try a Harley collar with their keeper. See what that feels like. That sucks. Nice and loose. See how this doesn't match up. Put the Harley stuff together. Pretty tight. So I definitely like the Harley stuff better. Appears it'll fit. So the springs will fit on the stock collar and keeper. So this is an improvement over what they had. So I don't like his stuff too much. Okay, I'm going to go check the coil bind on this one to see where it's at. See if things change. This was the low one. Should be 815. I think we're going to be doing a collar swap here because I don't like that loose ass collar. But we'll see. Let's see how the other numbers look. What was that? Jeez, what the hell? Never had that happen before. Kind of shoved the spring like sideways internally. That's not good on a spring. guess it's going back to normal. Something was not very good on that first go around. Yeah, looks like we lost a little bit. We're 825. So we gained a little bit on the collar, we lose a little bit on the coil bind. That was weird how that did that. I'm going to check that again. Never had a spring do that before. About the same, 823, 25. And yes, I can see within 3 thou with my scale. If you know how to read one, you can get pretty close. Definitely wobbles a lot. Really do not like that. Okay. This cam has 490 lift on these cams. 0.49 plus 50 thou coil bind clearance, 0.05 plus our coil bind, which was the 825, 0.83 is what we're going to go with. You want 1370 minimum installed height to be safe. So you just take it and measure it and see what you got. Oh boy, we got a ton. We are 1,400 and about 75. That's way more than 370, isn't it? It's like 100 thou more. Let's see how close my dead eyes are getting. I had 66, but so we're measuring 65 for sure. Some eyeballs about 5 thou off. Not bad for old eyeballs. I say 475, I forget what number I told. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's in that 75-ish area to me, but okay. We'll go with 65. So that means that needs 100 thou of shim up on that thing. And that's for these collars, which actually are less than stock height. I think these collars are for high lift application. You know, they're recessed deeper here on the bottom than stock. Here's a stock one. I don't know if you can see the depth change, but if we go with the stock parts on here, all the way, stock collars, every whole distance, and keepers. Bam, fighting me. Damn. They're liking me tonight. Jeez. Keepers don't want to go in the valve. Cut these valves a little bit too close. Keepers are kind of like a press fit going in. That's not very good. You're not even watch what I'm doing, are you? Damn. Yeah, these are not happy campers here. Yep. It shows about 2 thou clearance, but it's not even that much. I think it's more like -1 thou. Okay. Try some different ones here. This one goes in, but it's tight. See how tight that was. There we go. I like that one. Have to find some worn out keepers to use. Take and grind a keeper stripper. There we go. Alright, I got a pair that fits. Jeez, that was terrible. Where's my collar at? Okay, fits. Okay, Harley collar. All the way around. About 460. .43. I'm getting that late. Let's see. It's about 450 is what I'm seeing. Screw them calipers. 450. We only need 370, so we're still 70 thou up on the number. So I get a little bit closer, but it's still pretty damn high. And so we got 500 left, CO clearance, and at least 650. We got about 700. So we got room on that. Then we got 300 over here, which we barely have. So I can put a 60 thou shim on that. Gets pretty close. Okay. Now if I use his collar, about 420. So that comes in a little bit better. So that puts us 50 thou too much on that one. I really don't like how the color rocks all over the place, so. It's a lot of movement there. Look at that. I really do not like that. It's definitely half what that one is. At least half. Yeah. These are just way, way off. At least the other one you can feel kind of hitting on the keeper. This one here you don't even feel it hardly even hitting on it. It's really loose there on the inside, down low in here. See, like that. Really do not like that. Here's the Harley one, see? Doesn't hardly move at all down the bottom. A lot tighter. I'm going to go with the Harley stuff. I don't like this stuff. It sucks. Gotta go with the Harley. Executive decision. His stuff sucks. This is a high RPM motor. Even on a street motor I wouldn't like that very much, but on a high RPM motor like this, that's definitely not going to be acceptable. There, that one's not in there all the way. See that one? Keeper. Keeper groove is screwing with me. Or the valve is. Yeah, it's a lot better when you do it this way. I think this one would fit better though. Yeah. Go with that one. $60,000 spacer. Problem with these is you got to make sure they fit on the bottom of the valve where they're supposed to be and not on the side. Right at the limit for our installed height for our seal. You gotta check a lot of stuff. Make sure the seals are gonna clear also. If you put them in there. I don't use seals on my race bikes, don't need them. Street bike guy like them. About 385 is what I'm measuring. See, we got our trusty caliper here. 378 is what I came up with, so I'm getting closer. Okay, so we need at least 370, so we got 8 thou extra. That might pull up a little bit more. And as the seat's wearing, you'll probably gain out of 5 or 10 pretty quickly. So, okay, that combination of parts works pretty good. So we got enough clearance to do what we need to do on that. So these are all specialized to this valve. So put everything where it belongs so it stays where it goes. That way you can go back that way. What I didn't measure was the seal clearance. So seal clearance is the distance between the bottom of the collar right there and the top of the guide right there. The seal has 100 to 125 on its head. So we got, like I said, we got 500 lift in this motor, 490. So we are right just a tick under 700, so probably about 680-ish. The seal's 100 thou minimum thickness above the top of the guide. I use these old K-line seals. So the distance between the inside of top here and the very top of the seal is about 100 thou. When you install them, they sometimes poke up about 25. So you need at least 100, but I usually like figuring 125. It wouldn't hurt to have some clearance, but whatever. Give what we got. So if you take 500 lift, 490, 10 thou clearance, 500. You add in your number here, 150. That's 650. We have about 680, so we got a little extra clearance. So this will fit, assuming it goes all the way against the top of the guide. I think it's going to sit about 20 thou above the guide. So it'll be close. We should have an extra 10 or so in there. So we should be fine. Tight, but fine. Okay, all that goes over there. That's an intake one. Don't mix that up with exhaust. Okay, now that we have a kind of a rough idea where we're at, I'm going to take an intake valve. I'm just going to do a rough measurement, kind of a ballpark number where we're at. So we're about 1/400. This one's a little bit more, about 420. So the intake's a little bit deeper than the exhaust. So I'll go over here and measure this one real quick. About 390 on that one. A little 400. So it looks like the rear intake's going to be the tightest one. So I think we're still okay on that number. Okay, so everything should fit together. I got to put everything together and check all the clearances. Okay, the last thing I want to do is check the valve clearance. That's over here where they hit each other. So this cam has 207 lift in it. So if you leave the valves like this and just push them open, Find the spot you like to help speed for measuring from. Give it at least 210 movement. That one a little bit more than that. That one's got a little more too. You rotate them around, you look at it in there, see what your clearance is. These valves have been sunk a long ways, so you can see all the valve to valve. We got a ton of clearance in there. Even though the valves are open about 220 on both of these, we still got a lot of clearance. These valves have been sunk way deep into the head. Lots of valve jobs. That's why I have to put shims on there, even though we got high lift. If you're doing race bikes, you sink them way in like that to get clearances. So it looks like he's got enough clearance to go probably almost 600 thousandths. Almost. That means they're sunk way down. These are also longer valves too, which allows them to do stuff like that. Okay, so the exhaust valve we already did. Put them over there. Okay, now I gotta find some collars and keepers to use. I'm going to have to remeasure my install height to make sure, my coil bind to make sure my numbers didn't change when I change the collars, because we're doing a collar swap out on this motor. Okay, I got 2 more blasted ones. And this one's going to be an unblasted one because that's all I got left. So here's our lower collars. These have been trimmed off so they get more clearance for the seals. Stock collars, there's a lip that sticks up right there. You can see the machine mark in there. Sticks up about 80, 90 thou. Kind of like this one sticks up. That kind of deal is going on. We can machine that off to get clearance. Okay, so it looks like we're going to use about 60 thou shims on all of these. So here's some more shims. Okay, we already did the exhaust, so this is the front intake. Stick that in there. Oop. Come on, get out of there. Shim, collar, spring, top collar, and a set of keepers. Hopefully these all fit on this though. Tight but went in. Good. Looks like this one's up about 410. I don't think there's room to go up higher with the seal though. We can try going higher and see what happens. It's a 30 thou shim. Always put the thinnest one next to the valve guide. Thick one on top. Collar. About 275 exposed to 300. Come on, get in the hole. Keep it a little snug in there. Okay, let me measure this one again. Looks like we're down about 380. Yep, that 376 I came up with. Okay, we need 70. Okay, let's just go ahead and double check our numbers to make sure we didn't screw up someplace. So we got 490 valve lift, 0.050 clearance, and we had 830 I used for my clearance. Coil bind number 1370, so the numbers are holding. So I have to go check the springs, make sure they're at 830 to 840. Or I might get in trouble, but I think I'm alright on that. Okay, so this front head we got mocked up we need. This should be good. So this one we got 2 shims on there. 90,000 worth of shims under here. That's a big stack. Okay, make sure it's our front valve. We mix it up any. All the components we just measured go together, so nothing gets mixed up over there. Okay, so that's the one head. This one here is a little bit taller, just a little closer. So we'll put the 60 in there, collar, spring and dinghy. I'm going to use the dark one on this one. Grab 2 more keepers. Yep, it's tight. It's right on our number, I think. Yep, 74. Whoop, right there. Okay, so that one works. Notice how I lay everything out over there the same way, so you don't get anything mixed up. Okay, I'm going to do the exhaust. Make sure you got the rear valve going in there. Thick shim, collar, spring, collar. Oh, we didn't check the keepers. See if the keepers fit on this one. Well, this one's got lots of clearance. Yeah, it's only that one valve is a pain in the butt. That's a nice one there. Okay, and let's see, we're right kind of in the ballpark. 410, so we're going to ride at the limit on this one. If I put another shim in there, it's going to be real close. Yeah. 396, see, we're close. So this one I need more like about a 15 shim. Kind of a rare shim to use on this application. See if I got one. Yep, row shim. stainless steel. 15 thou. Okay. Thin shim, fat shim, radius side up, collar, collar, keeper, another keeper. Looks more. That could be more. We put a shim in there. $90. Must have been on a high spot or something. It's weird. Something fishy here. Some kind of a high spot it was on. Burnish them in a little bit. That's a good fit though. I like the fit, it's a nice fit. Okay, try that again. It's always nice when you don't get repeatability numbers. Okay, so we're going to use a thin shim. 30 thou this time, so we got 90 going on here total. We're not using that 15. Close. Yep. Went back to the low number. Feels like the shims are all the way in. Keepers are all the way in. We're right at 68. Yeah, 68 to 70, we're right on the number. Yep, keep measuring the same, 68. Alright, that's tight, but it's there. No extra clearance. If you're going to push the envelope, you do it on intake, not exhaust. You want the exhaust to float first. If you float the valves high RPM. That's why we're shimming these up, to get the high RPM tension on them. Oh, that is weird how it does that. $85. That was 15 thou, so 86. Alright, I'd rather be a little 10 short than 5 tight, or 3. Alright, we'll go with the lighter, this thinner one on this one. So they'll probably suck up anyway, but don't need to be pushing the envelope on this. Well, actually we can do the this spring theoretically has more clearance than the other one, so probably get away with running the thicker shim. Yeah. I don't know. Go for guide. About 280 on the guide, poke up. I think I'll go with the lower number. Not a race bike. Don't need to push it that much. A little extra clearance isn't going to hurt it. We're only talking about 3,000 to 5,000. That's all I'm worried about, but yeah, I don't want to push it that much. Okay, I'm going to go remeasure my springs here, see what the coil binds are. Double check to make sure we're within our spec we want. I'll get all the stuff cleaned up and then we'll assemble. So we'll be back.